Hello guys, welcome back to another free-to-play episode. This is going to be the first of many. Some of you may have seen the post that I had put on the Discord server. We are going to be putting out 2 of these videos a week, and we're also going to be doing 1 stream a week. So just for this week guys, the stream is most likely going to be on Thursday, and yeah, we're going to be going back to free-to-play content. So I made the decision, I was contemplating, we've spoken about this on the stream, on the videos a lot. What do? Do I continue with this account? Do I switch to doing a hyperdrive bundle to skip the initial process? Or do we just make a new account? And after a lot of consideration, I've just decided to stick with what I had. If you want to know why I made this final decision, even though I put loads of polls up and you guys were like very responsive and gave me lots of good information and feedback, it's because I'm lazy. And we actually managed before to get some decent-ish mods. Now I say decent-ish, you can see here we actually have quite I mean, this isn't that many, but we have a decent start on the mods, and that's kind of why I decided to keep this account, because the foundation of a good account is good mods. So we decided to keep it. And today's video is going to be really the first part of a 2-part episode, let's put it that way. So today we're going to be talking about the characters that I'm going to farm, because it's been a long time guys. I did this sort of video like 8 months ago. Things have changed, new characters have come out, new Omicrons have come out, new Zetas have come out. And the other thing is, a lot of people want to know where we're going to go after the initial unlock of Starkiller, which I would say is probably a couple months away at this point. And then Friday's video is most likely going to be a fleet focus video, where we're going to go over the fleets we're going to farm, when we're going to farm them, what ships we're going to farm, the pilots that we're going to need for them as well. So please stay tuned for that one. So jumping into the video here, we are going to go through the teams. Now, we had a video like this in the past where I had the different phases. You can go back to that video, the link will be in one of the corners here somewhere, and that kind of stays the same. You can definitely follow that, but this is kind of a more revised approach to the account. So we've gone through and I've kind of listed some, not all the squads, but some of the key squads we're going to be farming. This doesn't actually include the Starkiller team, although that's because we're going to unlock him. You guys understand that, right? So first up we have Phoenix. I'm not going to take them above gear 7. I mean, we could. I personally am not going to do it. I'm going to just suffer in the Thrawn event and keep them at gear 7. But what we are going to be doing is at least modding them well. At least taking to level 85. We're going to be applying most of the ability mats here, just not the Omegas, not the Zetas. I think Chopper will get the Omega, and Zeb will get the Omega. I don't know about anyone else. Now, down the line, you'll see that I'm probably going to come back and say, yeah, this is going to Relic. I'll explain it to you guys later. Now, we've got the Dash team, and to begin with, this is going to Gear 12 or higher. We're going to be running Dash. He's going to be Relic 5 for Starkiller. Young Han is going to go to Relic. He's not going to be one of the first ones, unfortunately. I would love to, but I feel like he's going to be maybe the 6th or 7th Relic in the team. Kira is probably going to stay at gear 12 guys, or maybe even lower, maybe like gear 10 or 11. I mean, she's not the best character ever. I use her on my main, but we'll get into why she's a good character to invest in shortly. Vandor will be going to Relic guys, and I hate to say it, he may be going to Relic 7. Because even if we had these guys all like gear 12 and this guy at Relic 7, we're going to be beating teams on offense. Lando will be going to gear 12. He may join Young Han and go to Relic at a later point. Scrolling down, we have the Palpatine team, which will be Palpatine, Mara Jade, Grand Admiral Thrawn, Vader, and Tarkin. Now, Tarkin and Thrawn is an interesting one, and I'm not sure which one of these I'm going to invest in. Only one of them for now. But we are going to be taking Palpatine to gear 12. We're going to be taking Mara Jade to Relic 5. Vader's going to be going to Relic. And then eventually Palpatine then gets boosted to Relic 5 as well. Now, the reason why we're going to be doing this is Palpatine and Mara Jade are both needed for the best Starkiller team. I mean, Mara Jade's a requirement anyway, so we have that. Now, the reason why we're going to do Invader is because Vader can also be used in the Starkiller team. Also, Vader can just be used to solo so many teams. It's always worth investing in him. Now, Thrawn and Tarkin are here because one of them is going to be a fleet that we invest in, and you're going to find out which one that's likely to be on Friday's video. So one of these two is going to go to Relic. The other one will probably go to Gear 12. So one of them will go to Relic, and the other one will likely go to Gear 12, because they're still useful. I mean, Tarkin's always useful to have built up because he can work with Vader. And the other thing is, these are requirements for Journey Guide characters, so it's always nice to invest in them early. Then we have Iden, and I said before that I was going to farm Iden, and now I'm telling you guys that Iden may be our first full Relic team. Now, some of you may sit here and go, Glurmit, you're an idiot. What are you doing? Why are you saying Iden's going to be the Relic team? She works at low gear. And that's true, guys. There's something that I want to push with this account, because it's a Grand Arena focused account, is we need to up the non-GL counters. Because if we can beat the GLs that are placed on defense reliably and consistently, there's a very good chance that we can actually steamroll our way up the Grand Arena ranks. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get there straight away. It may take a few months of Grand Arena, but obviously the aim is to eventually have this account in Khyber. That may take a year, that may take longer, it may take shorter. We don't know until we start playing. But Iden's going to go to Relics, and what teams is Iden going to be beating? Well, I mean, she's going to be beating like Mothma teams, but we don't want to beat Mothma. What Iden's going to be beating is she's eventually going to be our General Skywalker or Lord Vader counter. And that is why, okay, you guys may notice that we don't actually have the lineups to do that. We're going to be mixing and matching Imperial Troopers. They're all worth investing in. But this is the initial lineup I'm going to farm. And yes, they are all going to go to Relics. We're not going to do that straight away. This will probably be after we get Starkiller. We'll come back and we'll invest in Iden to Relic. And then it'll probably be Death Trooper, and then the others will follow. So that is why Iden's going there. And the other thing is she has a ship, and that's a key part of our ship farming plan that you'll see on Friday. Then we have Gear 10 or more, the Mon Mothma team. Now this team is a good Relic team. Kyle-Katarn will be going to Relic 5. And then Mothma will be going just to Gear 12 or Gear 10, I don't know. But the rest of them, low gear is fine to begin with. Eventually, we will move towards having a Relic team, but this isn't a priority team. As long as Kyle's fast and strong, we should still see results, especially in offense and defense. Kara is there, but I'm debating changing her for Scarif Rebel Pathfinder because he's a low gear, low investment character who's still going to cause issues with debuffs. And an early game, not a lot of people know how to deal with his revives. It's a bit similar to Kara, but low investment there, and he has a fleet, which is nice for us. And the final team that I've listed here, this isn't all of them, this is just some of them for the video, I don't want it to be too long for you guys, is actually Geonosians. Now, this one is a Gear 12 team that we're going to go for, but I'm most likely going to Relic Sunfag. And if you're wondering why he's going to go straight into the Malevolence lineup, I think he's the most important Relic on the team. And Spy is a second choice, but I don't know about that yet. So that's mainly for guild related stuff. And then I thought I would break this down into what the 3v3 teams would look like, because we've seen what the Grand Arena 5v5 is. Let's just see if this account would even have any success in 3v3. So we've got a Phoenix lineup here. Now, this isn't the best lineup, it's kind of a stall team, but this could trip someone up. We've then got the Iden, Shore Trooper, Stormtrooper, and if this team is at Relics with the Omicron activated and decent mods, Wampa can time out to this, so this can be a nice defense to place. We've then got Kira, and this is where I said that she's actually kind of useful. In 3v3, you can split the Smuggler into two very good teams. You can have one with Dash and Vandor, and then either Young Lando or Young Han. And then the other team you can actually run is Kira, Young Lando, and L3, or Kira, Young Han, and L3. And both of them work really, really well. So this is kind of what we're going to be running. We're going to have one very strong Dash team and one very strong Kira team. The eventual aim is to have this at Relic, and actually taking Kira to Relic and Young Han and Young Lando isn't a bad idea because they do have missions in the new territory battle. So maybe we use them there as well. And then you can see, like I said, we have the Dash team with Vandor and Young Han. Now there are other 3v3 teams. This is just to show you an example of what we can do. This isn't all the teams we're going to use. Like I said, it's just an example, guys. Then we have the Omicron breakdown. Now you may remember there was a different one before, and I've changed it ever so slightly. So Dash is going to be our first Omicron on the account. Now I'm aiming to have 2 or 3 done before Starkillers unlock. If possible, we want to have 3 done. If we can only get 2 done, we can only get 2 done. So what Omicrons are going to be applying? Well, the first is going to be Dash's Omicron here, and that's going to be his leader, and it's going to make sure that Vandor does the role in Grand Arena. The next one is going to be Iden, and the reason we want to apply Iden's Omicron is because, like we said, she's going to be a key component of our account going forward, and it also boosts the ship. Darth Traya. Now guys, Traya is going to be a team, and I didn't list them here, but they are going to be a team we invest in. To begin with, only to about gear 10, and then as time progresses, it's going to be a Relic team, because we're unlocking Talon anyways, so we can run Traya, Scion, Nihilus, Talon. And then we could bring any pre-taunting tank. Doesn't matter if they're gear 1, gear 2, gear 3, that doesn't matter, guys. And this is eventually going to be our Malgus counter, because as we move up the Grand Arena, we're likely to face Malgus, and we're going to need a counter when that time comes. So Traya is going to be our answer. And if we can do that, again, we have a much, much better chance of winning those Grand Arenas. And finally, we have Starkiller. Now, I've seen a lot of you recently have actually been showing off your tripled Omicron Starkillers. We're only going to be applying the there is much conflict in you Omicron. We're not going to be applying all of them, guys. I would love to, but it's just not going to happen. Next up, we have the Zetas for the account. Now, again, the previous video, which you could have checked out, and I hope you have seen it before, it will list more, and all of those are still applied. This is just a few that I've picked out today, that I thought to myself, these are kind of good Zetas, right? So we've got Vandor, which is a must-have Zeta. We've got Grand Admiral Thrawn, which the one you're going to want, guys, is actually this one. And if you're wondering what it does, it adds the counter chance tenacity, and whenever a Empire ally uses a special ability while Thrawn's active, if any enemies are fractured, they lose turn meter. This is very good for controlling the match and getting more banners as well. We've then got Vader for Merciless Massacre, Palpatine for his lead, and Geobred Alpha for the unique. There are plenty more Zetas we're going to be applying, guys. This is not all of them. This is just a couple that I've picked. Obviously, for any Omicrons, you're going to have to apply the Zeta beforehand as well, so do take that into note. But this is just a sample of some of the Zetas we're going to be going for. I'm going to be posting a video in the next couple of weeks detailing every single Zeta broken down into a tier list. Not a tier list in general, but a tier list for the Starkiller account itself. Like what Zeta is good, what Zeta is rubbish. You'll find out there's actually some that may surprise you. And finally, I've actually decided to list the characters which I hope to unlock on this account. Journey guide specific. Now the order may change, and it probably will change, but what we're going to be doing is Starkiller first, Jedi Knight Revan at some point, Darth Revan and Malak. I feel like we need this at some point. In terms of the relics, I'm not sure where we're going to take them yet. Probably only gear 11, gear 12 to begin with. Commander Luke is on there because we're actually going to be pushing. I can't scroll down, guys, this is really unfortunate. Let me just move me across to the other side here. So yeah, we're also going to be moving and working on getting C-3PO, Chewbacca, Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, and eventually we're going to be going for Jabba. And I know this is a big thing to say. Some of you may be surprised or annoyed. I don't know how you're going to react to this, But this is down the line. This is like in a year, maybe a year and a half. This is not something I'm saying we're going to do now. But eventually the goal is to get Jabba. And why do we want him? Well, if we're going for a Grand Arena focused account, we need to unlock characters that are going to give us the edge. And if we unlocked Jabba in 1 year, 1.5 years, for example, then he's going to be giving us 76 dot mods minimum a year. And that will boost our Grand Arena so much. You know, those pilots will be able to just slap 6 dot mods on all of them. We'll just have such an edge over our opponent. And he's a very good team. So that's something that we're maybe going to work towards. Obviously, we're going to be building these teams out. It's not like we're just going to unlock these, go straight to Jabba. We're going to build these out. The other thing is, you guys need to remember, we are going to be having a fleet guide, and that is going to also impact this, because when you get a fleet, you have to farm the characters. So there's going to be another list, probably made on Friday, which is going to go over the fleet characters we're going to need and the fleets we're going to focus on. And if you guys have enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps the channel out a bunch. My name is Glurmit. I hope you guys have a glurming day.